So apparently there is a singer in the world known as Maren Morris, who I have never heard of and couldn't name a single song that she ever sang, but she held this concert. And while she was there, she stopped the concert to make sure to address the crowd, and she said this. Maren Morris has a problem with Tennessee's controversial drag show bill. The singer performed at Nashville's Bridgestone Arena on Monday during the Love Rising concert, which is a benefit aimed at supporting and raising awareness about LGBTQ plus rights. I introduced my son to some drag queens today, so Tennessee, effing arrest me, Morris told the crowd. He's growing up here as a Nashvillian, and I just want to leave this world for him a little bit better than the one we're in right now, and I feel like nights like tonight help to do that. Now, as much as I would like you to be arrested, you can't be arrested in Tennessee actually just because you introduced your son to a drag queen. That's not actually what the bill states. The bill states that you can't take a bunch of fat men, shove them in lingerie, shake their butts in front of very small children publicly for events that are specifically aimed at grooming children. So, I mean, as much as this individual wants to make a moral argument for the necessity of doing that, actually, this secular moralistic argument doesn't hold any weight, at least in terms of what's actually taking place in Tennessee. But before I jump into the moralistic argument that's being made by this individual, just an irreligious one, I want to just say this. Boy, that comment didn't age well, did it, sweetie? The fact that you held this concert to support LGBTQ rights and you were attempting to defy law enforcement, and then a transgender shooter goes into a Christian school and kills 6 people. I wonder if you feel any remorse whatsoever for your blatant disregard for reality and your blatant disregard for the law. So her little moralistic stand tells us all the truth that we need to know about this person, and you can see it in this picture right here. This illustration almost speaks for itself because of how silly it is. This woman wants to stand up for the rights of this really big-ass dude beside her to identify and dress as a woman. So she's really standing in the shadow of that individual, as though there might be a further analogy like feminism is standing in the shadow of men now because transgenderism has absolutely made a mockery of feminism. It just goes to show you that the moralism of the left is actually a self-defeating moralism. It's what I call the cut off your nose to spite your face left, the progressive movement that constantly wants to be treadmill people, who wants to constantly make progress but actually not move anywhere, or if they do anything, they move backwards. I do want to say something beyond just making fun of the progressive movement here and their pseudo-moralistic arguments that they try to make without God, because, of course, she is doing that, right? She is saying, this is what's right, this is what's good, and I want to leave the world a better place than when I found it, and this is the way to do that, to dress men as women. Well, congratulations with that. But the more important thing is that these people are so desperate to abuse children, it just is so sick to me. Now, again, she did this with her own child, and I'm almost pleased to sit back and let you do it to your own child so that you can see the error of your ways, hopefully. But I care about kids too much to make that flippant response. And I just want to say that it really just seems odd to me that these people want to kill children in the womb. And then when they get out of the womb, they want to mutilate these kids with gender mutilating surgeries. And if they can't do that because they outlawed it in Tennessee, then they resort to violence and they just kill kids. What is the deal with wanting to kill kids? It's as if we're rejoicing at our own destruction, not only in a physical way, as we saw with this shooter, but also the ridiculousness of feminism that espouses that a man can be a woman, and that a woman is just nothing more than a uterus holder. We just saw this recently with Anna Kasparian and her comments on Twitter that I don't want to be relegated just to one body part because of a transgender movement. I would like actually for women to be identified as more than that, because actually they are much more than that. It's interesting to me how self-defeating feminism is. Way back, Simone de Beauvoir was saying things like this, that we are now becoming the men that we've always wanted to be. And then you had people like, that was Gloria Steinem. You had people like Simone de Beauvoir even going as far as to say this, that it is not the ovum that makes somebody a woman, it's more the clitoris. And a woman is a woman insofar as she thinks herself to be one. So just ridiculous statements like that, like a woman is more defined by sexual pleasure and by feelings than actually by being a woman and actually carrying a baby, which is one of the greatest things women can do. So why is it that feminists are rejoicing in their own destruction? They're watching men invade their sports and demolish them. They're watching men invade their locker rooms and their bathrooms and take away safe spaces from women. And then they're watching men invade their prisons too. Men who are sexual offenders can now identify as a woman and go have a field day in women's prisons. All of this is far from feminism and far from a way to respect and stance a woman and her voice. But far be it from me as a man to try to mansplain to a bunch of feminists that you have no understanding what feminist is. You could just look at the evidence that's right in front of your face. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.